Hello. A little bit of a different setup today. Cause I figured I wanted to do a talking video. And what did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about DBD. What the fuck doodly is going on over here? What is going? See, this is why. Nope. Unpause. That's that shit. Y'all got me in the first half. I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll pause my ad block. Got me in the first half. No. So today I wanted to just talk about things in Dead by Daylight as a new player. I know you'll be sitting there like, Tommy, you're rank 1. Are you really still a noob? And it's just like, well, I only got like 150 hours. So I'd still call that pretty newbie. Like, I just know how most killers' powers work and what most of the characters' names are. So, yeah, I'd still say I'm pretty newbie. There's still a lot of perks and things I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. So, if you're seeing this video, because this is going up on YouTube, and you're like, you're rank 1, stop talking, you're not a noob, fuck you. That's all I got. But yeah, I think the first thing that I want to talk about today is a killer tier list. This is my noob observation tier list. And some of these things will be skewed, but I want to say, before I get into the next part of like what I want to talk about today, that am I interested? Yeah, I'm interested. That before I get into like anything else for today, it's going to be tier list that I kind of just want to talk about a lot of things DBD, community, whatever. Who knows? I'm kind of just empty in my head. Head full, brain empty. Hopefully we can reverse that by the end of the stream. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the tier list part of today. And I'm just going to go in order that they're put out here for us right here. I believe it's in order of release. So yeah. Trapper. From my standpoint of using him, character's ass. Like hardcore ass. You'd be like, hey, but with the add-ons, I'm just saying again, this is from a noob standpoint. I don't want to rely on add-ons for a character to not be complete garbage. Trapper's ass. Especially when you don't have other perks unlocked. With his base kit, just ass. I guess I should try to give a little bit more critical analysis for this type of situation, but okay, realistically. So Trapper, he has traps. You start with 1, and then the rest are in the environment somewhere. That could either really help you or really hurt you. The game's already RNG enough. It's already a 4v1 playing as killer, and spawns for both hooks and generators can either help or hurt, as well as the map. So Trapper's traps on certain maps just are hella obvious. Like, for example, if you put them down in Hawkins Laboratory, whoever falls into that trap deserves it. They need to just DC and uninstall the game at that point. That's inexcusable. And then, likewise, there's some maps where it's really good, like Macmillan, where there's like certain bushes or whatever you can put a trap. But then again, your power, you're relying on someone to trigger your trap and hopefully just stay there. Just like, you know, and they can wiggle out. With Hag, her trap you put down, you teleport it to them, and you're in control of getting that hit. The Trapper traps can be disarmed. You can fall into them. That's the one thing that I thought was fucky. I didn't realize that I could fall in them my damn self. So my first time playing with him, I had a damn survivor in my arm. And I was like, hey, the person behind me, you know, they'll get fucked over from trying to pallet stun him, your flashlight, or whatever the fuck they were trying to do. I'll just walk over this trap and I'll be fine. No, that was not the case. I dropped the survivor and I had to sit there like a dumbass in front of everybody. So yeah, call it a bad experience, but no, Trapper, bad. Is he F tier bad? I don't know. I don't know if I could say Trapper's F tier bad. Because with certain add-ons and perks, he's usable. I guess I should explain the rankings. S tier in my eyes is character's busted. If you're losing with this character, that means you're bad. Right? That's just what that's what in my eyes that means. A tier means the character's pretty damn good. And if you have some brain cells, you should do pretty good well with them. And I'm talking about brain cells. Good job, Tommy. If you have enough brain cells, you should be able to do good with them, and usually win the game. And mind you, no, this is a noob's tier list. I don't expect too many noobs to have brain cells, but hey, here we are. B means mid. The game can go whichever way. You could be high level with this killer and still just lose, but you can also just win randomly. I put B at coin flip. C means that you are fighting an uphill battle. You have to be really fucking good to make the killer decent. Not even going to say good, but decent. C tier means if you are a top, I'm not even going to give, if you're a top Trapper player, you're probably going to get 4Ks most of the time. The character's holding you back, but if you have enough mastery, you can save it. F tier. In my eyes, that means that no matter how good you are with the fucking character, there's no hope. Yeah, I think that's about the gist of it. So, with my own thought process being said, I think Trapper lands in C tier. I know I just dogged on him, but I can't put him in F tier yet, because I've seen some really good Trappers, right? We've seen Darva's Trapper. There's this person that I've seen on Twitch called the left hand of the entity. I want to say I said the right side. I think I remember it wasn't right, it was left. Pretty sure left hand of the entity is a Trapper main. Again, sorry if I'm getting some of this information wrong. This is just what I see. Is a Trapper main. They do fairly well. They make a nice little game out of everything. So yeah, I think Trapper has potential. I think Trapper goes in C. Shit. I want to also try to give feedback for these characters, or how they could be better or worse. I think Trapper, how to rework Trapper to be better. I think for starters, you start with 3 traps. I think 3 traps base would help a lot, right? Because you put 1 trap at a loop that you're passing on, like a loop that you know you're probably going to end up facing as you make your way towards survivors, and 2 traps for entryways. Say that you end up stumbling upon Shack for the first thing, put 1 outside a window or wherever, around it. I think that'll really help. Something like that. I think the fact that you can go so long in a match without your power at certain times, or without anybody being close to your power, is a really hindering thing. Some people will say that they need to put the traps in lockers. I say, seeing what I've seen with coding issues and spaghetti code that Behavior has created for Dead by Daylight, I don't think that would be a good idea, at least in its current iteration. I think that, because after that, how would you limit the amount of traps on the ground? If you put them all in lockers, without a limit, then you have 50 traps on the floor, and basically the survivors are playing the floor is lava at that point. Mind you, it also takes you a while to set all of them, but what's the end result? And I'm pretty sure, as we've seen, the game crashes with relative ease. I'm pretty sure that many objects with interaction physics would then break the game each match. Okay, Monster, why don't we put a cap to how many traps? Well, true, but why put them in the locker at that point? Because at the lockers, you still have to reload. I know as playing Trickster a lot that the need to have to go to a locker is really fucking tedious. Especially on certain maps where there's not a locker for fucking miles after you hook somebody. That shit's tedious. So I don't think putting traps in lockers is a good idea. I think them being in the environment is fine, especially when sometimes they're in positions that are already working for you. All you have to do is set them. I think them being in the environment is fine. Again, this is all from a noob standpoint. Tell me if I'm wrong. I just think that he needs more at base, and I think they need to do more. I will say I don't think it needs to be completely one-sided. Like if you go down, if you get caught in one, like immediately from like healthy state, I think that is too much. But I think that the traps... What else could you do for the trapper? Do they reset over time already? I think so. Or I think that's an add-on. One or the two. If you disable them, then he has no counterplay. I'm sorry, if you disable the ability to disable them, then he has no counterplay. I think his kit is just inherently outdated. And more traps is kind of too much of a band-aid fix. But I think at this moment, and just to move on with the tier list, that's all I got for Trapper. So he's in C. Next we have Wraith. I don't want to go into this tangent too much. I want to save this for later. But I see the community, from what I've seen so far, really likes to jump really quickly on what they call overpowered. Mind you, I don't play Survivor as much nowadays. But I can tell you, when it comes to the rest of the killers, what's just outright unfair. So yeah, Wraith. Wraith. Where do we put Wraith? I think that Wraith... Also, I'm a little bit too gray. Hold on one second. There we go. That's a little bit better. I think that Wraith, in terms of power, is a really good Wraith. Here's some more bias, because I watched some of the True Talent versus Oracle matches, in which, you know, True isn't a competitive DVD player, from what I understand, not on a team as a competitive killer or whatever. And Wraith just doesn't perform that well against a team that knows what they're doing. I know a lot of people will say, man, the killers just get so much. It's just like, have you played against 4 survivors that all know what they're doing? Have you? I can tell you, that's just painful. Like, all comps, and that's like, not even just saying like all Swifts are busted, but red rank, tournament ready team, Swift, It's painful. You don't fucking win. I remember I went up against that as like my first game as Oni like ever, and I had like 5 hours in the game. That was terrible. Now mind you, again, that was also me not having the experience with the killer as well, but they did some, they reverse CJ teched and loop-de-loop and pulled, they were doing tricks and shits that I never would imagine was possible. So yeah, but back to Wraith. A really good Wraith. With add-ons, with good perks. I think Wraith is... Hot take. Wraith is B tier. Why is Wraith B tier? Wraith is one of the few killers that has an item as a weakness. Flashlights are hella common. Now I know you're like, Tommy, just run Lightborn on Wraith. That's a waste of a perk slot when you could really just focus on trying to bring perks that matter. Wraith still has a mechanic that's old that has an item as a direct way to counter them. You don't only get flashed by a flashlight, you can also get burned and then stunned. You have the weakness to that, flash bangs and flash mines. Like that's a lot of things to watch out for as Wraith. That's the only reason I don't put him in A. Yeah. Really good Wraiths knock out everybody. But I think that Wraith, despite that, nah, fuck it. A good Wraith knows how to play around flashlights. A. Say A. Solid A. What's up, Josie? Thanks for coming. It's all good, player. I just be here vibing. I appreciate you when you do come. Thank you for that. Thanks for coming. Wraith at A. Hillbilly. Billy's B. Not flawed terribly. I know people are doing free hashtag free Billy right now. You can... I don't know. I think the character's playable. I also don't understand community talking about hashtag free Billy. I think if more people play him, then his play rate goes up, which would make behavior not notice how bad a character is. I believe when balancing, you look at low play rates and low win rates, but the more people playing that are passable at the game are, you know, increasing that win rate as well as the play rate that everybody's boosting. So yeah, beyond me. But no, back to Hillbilly at its core. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffy. Hillbilly at its core. You're like, alright, what's wrong with him? An overcharge on his chainsaw. And it's hard to control if you don't know what you're doing. But again, a player that knows what they're doing. Easy A to S, 4Ks, 3Ks. Easy. The other thing is that I don't understand the community sometimes. Nope, not going to divulge. Not going to divulge. Going to stick to just Hillbilly. Hillbilly. You get Oni Slam all the time. You get to traverse the map in no time. And if you make contact with somebody, they go down. And that's enough for B tier right there. You get map pressure. With the right perks, you know where they are after you do all of these things. You just keep it going. I think that's enough that needs to be said for Hillbilly. Nurse. S tier. Now I know you'll be like, okay, Tommy, but you said a bad nurse isn't going to do well, so shouldn't that put them at like B? No, no, no. Nurse is just way too. If you're good, you're like solid. Like this is a true skill ceiling character. If you put in hours and hours on nurse, get down pat like how to teleport, how long of a hold to teleport, and all this other shenanigans, characters just it's too good. It's too good. She is just too fucking good. I can't put nurse in anything below S tier. Sorry. Myers. Good old Michael Myers. The Shape. Now, I've seen some people say that he's the worst killer. I do have to disagree with that. Yeah, sorry, I just have to disagree that. Not familiar with the add-ons, but the fact that you can play something called BK Myers is hilarious, and it automatically moves you out of F. Like when there's a whole nother build you can do for fun, makes you out of F. Because again, it's a game. You're trying to have fun. But the other thing with Michael is that at tier 3, you one-shot down anybody you come in contact with. I ran Michael with like one perk and got a 4K at like 20 hours. Had no clue how to loop, no clue what I was doing, and they were a mix of purple and green rank. Mind you, I was like yellow, green, somewhere in there. Either way, I think people overstate how much Michael Myers is not that great. I think a good Michael does well. And honestly, would I put Michael above Trapper? Usually I don't order on tiers, but I think for this I will, just because Michael has access to power almost all the time. You don't need to break. You're not in a night shroud that can break from random angles to expose and put people down. You're on your own. And you could do it in chase, mid chase, at a loop. You could do it whenever. So I think Michael is either B- or C+. Like, that's why we're going to put right there. Hag, A tier, and above Wraith. Hag is crazy. You get to go between points. Basement Hag is disgusting. Your only weakness is too large of a map. Coldwind, what the fuck does a Hag do? The loops are too long. The points of interest are too far apart. Same with the Asylum. Like, there shouldn't be instances where you can just not teleport to one of your traps without an add-on. I know that's part of the, counterplay or whatever, but I just say that as to why not S tier. Hag's good. Hag's great. I've gotten many a 4K with Hag, and I've only played many a times with Hag. I think I definitely have more wins on Hag than losses. So yeah, Hag A. Doctor. Why the fuck didn't anybody tell me the Doctor was so good? The Doctor is also now, my opinion is probably, I had to stop right there. I was going to put Doctor immediately in A, but I think that my opinion is skewed because I've been using good add-ons. The Iridescent King, and I think it's like, I don't know, like Peace Carter's Notes? I don't know, whatever they're called. I think those definitely. I like those add-ons because they just transform the game to people that you shock and make madness go. So I had to stop myself right there from putting him immediately in A. So I think that's going to be a B. A really good doctor? Yeah, that's you're wiping shit. No problem. So I think doctor's high B. Huntress. A. A. People in relevance to PTB Trickster, I think people call things overpowered way too fast anyway. But I've seen countless Huntresses. Okay, not countless, but yeah. I've seen way too many fucking Huntresses. 5 gen people. Like, why is this character so consistently dealing with teams at 5 and 4 gens? Yeah, you can outplay Huntress, technically, you know. Tall loops, ducking, bobbing, weaving. But again, you're not losing against a good Huntress. Like a great Huntress that's in the zone is going to get you. And it's kind of ridiculous. So that's why I don't think people need to shut up when it comes to PTB Trickster about being the best range killer. That's idiotic to me. Really. I don't know if they've seen Huntress, but good Huntresses don't really drop like that. True, the 1v1 on Trickster is immense, but Huntress also has map pressure. Because you throw a knife, it goes straight. Goes straight for a certain distance, right? Hatchet, you can literally Call of Duty tomahawk across the map sometimes. That's a skill ceiling, that's map pressure. It takes 2 hatchets for you to go down. With the add-on, it takes 1. I think people give way too much credit to the wrong things, the wrong aspect. There's map pressure, ability to put down, and again, you could just put them down and leave them there. Slug somebody out. Like this in optimal position, a Huntress just slugs and just keep hunting. Nobody said you had to actually put everybody on the hook, really. If you're just playing for kills, Huntress has that by the mile. People are crazy to think otherwise. And then the hitbox on those damn hatchets. I won't say they're unfair because of the amount of skill it takes to hit some of those shots. I remember when I first tried to use Huntress, I had no clue how long the wind up and cock back and whatever it was. But whew, you are throwing mini fridges at people. I've seen some real nasty shots that I'm like, there's no way that connected, but fuck it, whatever. So yeah, high A. Bubba. Leatherface. It'd be dumb for me to not put him in the same tier as Hillbilly. Exact same power, exact same character, except this one, you don't get to fly across the map. And that's literally the only thing that I have to say about that one. True, your charges come back faster, but really, are you overheating that much as Hillbilly? If you are, that's something on you. Why are you overheating this damn much? Leatherface, less mobility. And then that damn temper tantrum, when you get caught on something, is really fucking annoying. I know that's the first killer you guys saw me play as. But yeah, that's pretty fucking annoying. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about Leatherface. Torquays, hell, if I could do it, not knowing shit about the game, you can do it. That's again, when I say not knowing shit about the game, I'm not talking about rank 1 now, I'm talking about when I was rank 20 to 15. It's too easy. Whatever. Freddy. A. Only reason below Hag is because you have to rely on gens for your teleport. Once gens are popped, you're purely, you need to walk across the map killer. Snares. Slow down. Dream pallets. Useless, but also useful. You got map pressure with mobility. You gotta slow down for chases, a way to end chases quicker, rather. And loops. Freddy's just good. Like, he's a good character. And there's no sugarcoating it. I know I heard that Freddy used to be kind of overpowered even more, and they nerfed him recently, I guess. But Freddy's a good character. It's not the hardest to get 4Ks, especially with a good perk loadout. Add-ons, honestly, you can fuck off. I think the best add-ons to really put on them aren't even purple or iridescent. They're green. Use the jump rope and that one drawing. You'll be fine with just that. So yeah, Freddy, 8th tier. Pig. Fortunately, Pig has to go down here. Now, I know you all have seen me playing around with a Pig build lately, but without that build, Pig has stealth, but that crawl is super fucking slow. So that ambush attack, okay, it works to keep save the best for last stacks, because it isn't a basic attack at that point. But at the same time, it isn't a basic attack, so Devour stacks, you can't, Devour, you can't just ambush somebody and put them down, which I guess is fair. And same with, any other expo status. But if you could, that would be cool, because there's another character that you can stealth and expose somebody and put them down as soon as you make contact. But I know the caveat is the fact that this one also has reverse bear traps. But let's be serious, they don't really do much. Most people are going to get the reverse bear trap off of their head. And a lot of the time, it'll be on the first fucking try for some odd reason. I don't know what that is. So that's another digression when I see people talk and jump to conclusions about characters. Be like, I saw somebody, not to name content creator names, and this was, was a very old video, but when I was looking up videos to learn certain characters, this came up. It's just like, man, I just think that's bad game design when a person can die from a secondary mechanic. Have you really used the secondary mechanic? Because it takes a lot for you to fucking die from this. It takes a lot. I don't know if you've seen the timer, but it takes a lot. And then they ended up playing games revealing how shit it was. So I think that's one thing about Pig. On paper, you're like, damn, reverse bear trap. That's kind of cold. You put them in a trap, and then they have to work to get it off. And if they get the wrong box, they get a penalty, right? No. Well, surely they're wasting time every time they check a box, right? No. Well, sometimes, half of the time, yeah. What do you mean? So what do I mean is that the bear traps only activate after a generator has been done. That's when the time starts for that person. And that timer's long as hell. I believe it's 2.5 minutes. That might be outdated, but the last thing I saw said something like you have 2.5 minutes to get it off once activated. You can start trying boxes while they're inactive. And if you get the wrong box, fuck it, just keep going. True, it's a slowdown. And if a real dick pig wants to just camp and tunnel you while you have that thing on your head and just keep following you while you try to get it off, true, I guess that can be annoying, but realistically, you're going to get a kill with it every 9 games, every 8-9 games. The bear trap slows down the game to a very minuscule level. Even with the add-ons that reduce the damn timer on it, I think it saves 30 seconds, bringing it to 2 minutes. There's still 3 other people that, and most of the time, you're not going to be chasing the one person, and the other 3 people are also dealing with this thing on their head. And then again, if you have everybody, right? Everybody with a bear trap on their head, and everybody knows that they only activate after a generator's done. What do you think the team's doing? You think the team is trying to do generators on a game that technically has no time limit? They're going to be trying to get their helmet off. And then guess what? You can only chase one person at a time. I mean, true. All 4 can, for whatever reason, be at the same jigsaw box and trying to get it off. But realistically, who's going to do that? And the odds are just stacked against you at your own damn game. So yeah, Pig at C tier. Really fun character. I have an evil build for her. But then you also just get screwed by maps sometimes. Like if things are too far apart, or if things are too high. Dead Dog Saloon, for some odd reason, like 3 gens. One on the top balcony, one of the gallows. No, it was 4, yeah. And then one on one of the stairs leading up, and another one on, yeah, it was 4. On elevated surfaces, you can't just sneak up. Sure, you can sneak, but somebody's going to see you trying to crawl around at them. It's just not going to happen. And then on fucking Coldwind, the corn, it's just too far apart. If you spend your time trying to sneak from one point to another, you've wasted way too much time. So you might as well not try to sneak. For, you know, the full distance across. Sure, you could slowly approach, and people might start, I'm getting really sketch vibes. Like, true, maybe then, but nah, C. But also, let me correct this. Behind Myers, above Trapper. Because at the end of the day, you have more tools to use than just traps. Clown. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Clown is C tier. That's... For certain, Clown is C... You fucker. What's up, Chromers? Cause not gonna lie, it took me out. I was just like, what the fuck was that? How you doing? Clown is C tier. And I think below Trapper. Clown... No, I'm sorry. Clown is F. Clown is a fucking F. As Clown, you have bottles. One intoxicates, slowing the person down and blurs their vision. Doesn't affect you. And then the other bottle speeds people up. But it doesn't just speed up the killer. It can also speed up survivors. And what advantage do you give giving survivors a speed boost? More often than not, absolutely nothing. I'm struggling right now to think of one instance. Oh, thanks, I appreciate that. I'm struggling to think of one instance in which speeding up the survivor is a good idea. You just... it's never a good idea. And it's not going to stop them from getting to the next pallet. More than likely, it's not like it's going to make their dead hard into a wall. I mean, they'll do that their damn selves. Like, it's not going to do anything besides work against you if the survivor gets in it. And then you're just like, alright, well, surely it gives you enough speed boost for Clown. and it's fair. No, the thing is, one, the speed buff is ass. It does not really make Clown that much faster. And two, there's a delay on it. You have to wait for the mist to go from foggy, baby nectar white to piss yellow to then get the effect of going slightly faster. So that means you have to throw it a fair distance ahead of you. But that means that if you're trying to chase somebody down, you risk throwing it at them too. And mind you, they'll probably be past the gas, but why not just make it so that it auto-deploys like the toxin, and Clown can boost his way up there? You know, there's a character whose power literally is just running at motherfuckers and bouncing off of things and going straight to them. So why not just give this person a speed boost as well? It's effective at, you know, ending chases. Not the antidote, but the toxin is effective at ending chases quicker. But in a real sense, you're just wasting time. And then the refill. I heard the reload is faster than it used to be, but it still takes a fucking minute. I don't know. Clown is bad. I've been struggling to find a good build for him, so that's also on me. But the reason I'm struggling to find a good build on Clown is the fact that everybody says he's ass and nobody has found a good build for him from what I've seen. Moving on. Spirit. S tier. Even if you're bad with Spirit, you're good, you're fine, just, you know. True, it's not like you can't get 4 out it. But you have to fucking suck. Alright? Like, you can at least get 1 confirmed without face camping or tunneling. Like, would I say she's broken, though? No. The fact that somebody with, what is it? Iron Will? Especially with the buff that's coming. Well, the nerf to Strider, which I guess is a buff to Iron Will, that's coming, just kind of nullifies that. And then also, there's just so many things you could do to make it easier on yourself. I'm not saying that you'll have the best outplay, because I know if I say that, apparently I'll get caught in some DBD drama in the community that I saw. So I guess I shouldn't say that you can outplay Spirit with ease, but I should say it's not nearly that. It's not impossible. But on the other hand, if you don't get 1 to 2 kills per match as Spirit, you just uninstall. Like, it's uninstall. Sorry, game's not for killer's not for you. It's just not. And Monster, put your money where your mouth is. Why don't you use Spirit? It's boring to me. Don't care. Don't care enough. Following tracks, listening with my damn need to buy HyperX or Audio Technica headset. It doesn't. I don't care enough to prove that point. Everybody else should do it for me. Legion. If I put Clown in F, Legion also has to be an F. And I put Legion above Clown, though. Because Legion has the exact same power as Clown of just, you know, ending chases. Or being fast. Or, well, I guess in Clown's case, you're not really all that fast, but, you know, you're just playing with movement speed, basically. Legion is the same thing. Deep wounds without, what is it, Frank's mixtape, I believe I keep hearing about. Excuse me. They solve it in no time. Especially if you just stop and start mending in somebody's face. That's just mean. Yeah, Legion could cancel the power and then hit you. But by the time that fatigue wears off, if you haven't figured out that they're not playing his games with you, then that's on you. Legion is bad and hard to win with. That's the criteria for F. Sorry, not sorry. Plague. I don't see enough plagues. But, easy B tier. Yeah. Yeah. Plague. Under Doctor. Because Doctor gets information and additional effects with more blah da 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 da. Without the not about Doctor. Plague though. You get to infect people and things. And over time they'll either, you know, get broken so that they're 1 away, which is essentially you're making a contagious exposed. Real. I know that's not exactly how it works, but that's pretty much what it is. You have a virus, or not virus, that's another person on this list. You have a infection that exposes people for you. And then if they clean it, you get to drink from where they cleaned it. Or if all of them are used, you automatically get it. And then become a ranged killer that gets to just put them down from a distance at loops and just blah, back and forth. Without really needing to aim, if we're being honest. You don't have to aim knives or hatchets, you kind of just YOLO it up in the air and then let it fall, and then if it falls on somebody, that's a help state, and usually a down. Plague, good. I don't know why I don't see more people using her. I don't know good builds for her myself, but that's again back to I don't see many people using her, and I don't know why. Ghostface. See. Yeah. Yeah. Same mechanic as Myers. Roughly. But you have to, 1, be in stealth. If anybody sees you from any random angle or behaviors, game being fucking broken, it breaks and you can't expose them. And then that expose is on a timer that works per person. Ghostface. Some people really love him. Fun. But yeah, just a C tier killer. I honestly don't see too many Ghostfaces getting 4Ks. And that's not even just to put it against. It's like, Tommy, doesn't that put at F? And you know what? You have a good point. But I'm not putting Ghostface in F. Because frankly, I just don't feel they're that bad. Because with the ones in F, you'll be lucky to get 1 or 2 kills. With Ghostface, you're lucky to get a 4K. You get 2 to 3. Especially if you play dirty enough, you get 2 to 3. Demo. Controversial, apparently. But I think Demo's A. You literally get the same portals. And portals that, true, they can be, you know, covered up, concealed, whatever, sealed. But you're not relying on some generator to still have that mobility. And you don't need somebody else to trip them for you. Okay. Now to the next point. And you can put him wherever the fuck you want. And to the next point. Well, why isn't he above, or why isn't Demo? Because it's an it, right? Right? I don't know, lore wise, is this a male or female Demogorgon? I don't know. It is under Wraith because I got no reason, just under Wraith. Demo, with the right add-ons on top of that, you get to be sneaky beaky between the 2 spots. I know you make a sound that says, hey, I'm traveling, but unlike Freddy or Hags, there's no indication exactly to where that one is that you traveled to. There's no blood flow splatter coming out of a generator, and there's no replica of yourself popping out the ground to say, hey, I can come here. Then you also have Shred, which gets rid of pellets faster, which is something that the killers in B would have. Oh, 2 out of 4 currently have that just is better. That's, I guess I can't say it's better, but it's the exact same thing. Get rid of pallets, and it's a lunge. So who needs coup de grace when you have your own fucking lunge? And then you also have the ability to see if people are around your portal by looking into the abyss. That's information. Put that around a hook. Put that around a generator. Then you're good to go. Demo's a solid A tier. See hella people using demo, and then all the people using them like, man, demo could be BC on a good day. It's just like, so, and then those same people will turn around and say that Trickster's A or S tier. Make it make sense. Or sorry, PTB Trickster's S or A tier. Demo, you have map pressure. You have lunge. A lunge. A way to get rid of pallets for loops breaking faster. A way to get information. Demo has a great kit. That's all of that is the makings of an A. Because I see these same people, ScottJund, Bronx, great demo players. 4Ks consistently when they're not, you know, just playing for fun. If they're playing seriously, which they don't really, I guess nobody needs to, but they're 4K easy. I shouldn't say easy, but 4Ks consistently. Yo, what's up, Franco? That's funny. I was just about to get to Oni. I don't know shit about his PTB. But current Oni. Current Oni. Current Oni is I say current Oni's B. Right below Doctor. And I can hear it now. Somebody, when this goes on YouTube. Yeah, see? Look at that. We got some agreement already. Yeah, Oni's B. I think that true, it takes you to have your power up to do some of the unstoppable things. The same things that these two do. You also get the addition of information. When you're out of your power, you get to see where blood is going. Where is a weakened survivor? And things of that. And they just fucking float. You already have Sloppy Butcher just inherently in your kit. I know, minus the other, what, broken or mangled effect, whatever. But you just have Oni just right there giving you the trail for free. For free. And then once you do have your power up, you have instant downs, pallet breaking, and map traversal, which is pressure. Great killer. It's all you need. I guess B tier at this point is just a gimmick. Like, gimmick. All arounders. Downright busted. Needs help. Needs everything. So, yo, what's up? What's up, Jesus? Used to be more skill than only cockline. True big gimmick, yeah. Adding crows helps a lot. Oh, and then, yeah, so let's talk about perks with Oni. Everybody runs Infectious, right? You know why? Because this is a killer that can put down more than one person very fucking rapidly. And especially if they're within the vicinity without Starstruck or anything. Like Hillbilly, yeah, you can bounce between two people. But shit, if Infectious Fright procs, boom. Take off to the other direction, boom. Do it again. Oni's good. Oni's great. I wish I was better at Oni. Death Slinger. Range killer. There. Death Slinger. I've seen really good Death Slingers and people that just know a thing or two about the game do some shit that I had no clue was possible. Like shooting through these tiny little crevices, and I'm like, why would you do that? Then just let it go. And then, right, now they have to mend or whatever and reload with the certain add-ons to get it over with. But also, once you get good at figuring out how much you can reel to get around a loop that say like a survivor dropped a pallet, you're good to go. My dumbass, when I started playing Death Slinger, had no clue that I could do all that. I kind of just sat there, looked at them and the pallet in between us and said, fuck it. And then especially if you get good at some good shots and quick scoping, man, I thought I was decent because I have FPS in my blood. No, a good Death Slinger is good. And people are like, Death Slinger is... Right, it's a gimmick. Death Slinger is oppressive. I think we throw around the term oppressive way too much. Because, true, you get scared when Death Slinger's around. And if you're out of position, you're going to pay for it. But you don't have map pressure as Death Slinger. You miss your shot, you have to reload. You miss your M1, true, now you have the harpoon, but you look stupid. You don't get enough for it, all of this oppressive wordage that I see in people's vocabulary when it comes to Death Slinger. You're good, but you don't have map pressure. You have no mobility. Your mobility is taking away people's other mobility. And even then, I've seen the game really cheat Death Slingers out of some shots. Like, there was one where you hit the shot, but the person, for some odd reason, still was able to interact with the pallet and then go over it? That's bullshit. And then, just whack times. It's not nearly as bad as you give it credit. I think Death Slinger is fair. I don't know why some people say, yeah, he's oppressive. True, he's not getting 4Ks, but he's still oppressive. No, I don't think that's oppressive. I don't think that's just not oppressive. Oppressive means that you're just, there's no way you're going to come ahead from this. Like, it's over. It's not guaranteed. Right, it's not fucking guaranteed. You miss your shot, you have lost both the chase and your morale. You'll just look stupid after that point. It's really easy to get tilted as Death Slinger. You've lost a lot if you miss your shot. You've wasted time. People are doing gens on you. And the easiest way to counter Death Slinger is just spread the fuck out. Just spread out. Spread out, do gens. Rule number 1 of fucking Dead by Daylight. Unless you're farming blood points, spread out, do gens. What does Death Slinger do then? He has one of the slowest walks. I believe he's a 110 killer. You just... True, the fucking terror radius is smaller than some, but you whiff your shot, you got nothing. People, you can 4 out as Death Slinger very, very effectively. It's not nearly as hard as y'all make it seem. Oppression, you feel like you can't come out of it. True, he's annoying as shit, but I don't know if that's oppressive. Pulling up like some damn GTA. Yeah, the entire thing is contingent on if you can hit your fucking shots. That's it. Pyramid Head. A. B. Now I know some people give me shit for that. I know some people are like, how the fuck can you say that Pyramid Head is not an A-tier killer? He breaks the game. He does something that the game doesn't normally do. You don't have to go to a hook. Okay, what else? He doesn't have to hook people. He can just send them somewhere, okay? And he sends them somewhere that he can't see. True, you have an idea as Pyramid Head once you send them to a cave that they go directly across from you. But there's been times where that directly across from me was left or right and not front or like north or south. There was one time that I was like, yeah, I finally got this person down right before they got the gate. It sent them straight to the fucking gate for the people to undo it and take them out. How does that help? And true, yeah, as Pyramid Head, you get to stop the use of certain perks that rely on being hooked, but that also means you're not going to make good use of the own perks that you have to put them on hooks. Like barbecue and chili, you're just great perk, but you won't use it sometimes, and that really sucks for you. And right, he falls in line with the other one. I was going to say big agree, then you switched. Yeah, okay, but yeah, but it's like he falls in line with the rest of the B tier where it's a gimmick. Trails of Torment. I made the mistake of thinking that Trails of Torment did this massive hindered status, and I'm like, why am I not getting closer on this chase? True, it procs Trails of Torment, and I think they lose like an inch of speed, but not nearly to the same effect as a Freddy Dream Snare. And then, true, you have your M2. Charging that thing in current Pyramid Head is some shit. If you miss it, again, just like Death Slinger, you look fucking stupid. Map control, kind of, but the trails go away, and you can't put them around certain things or on stairs, and there's a bunch of caveats to that too. Really good character. Don't get me wrong. But when I look at what's in A tier, 4 out of 5 in A tier have mobility and or information. True, you get information if somebody runs, not walks, runs through your Trails of Torment. And that's all the information you got. You don't have mobility. You literally still have to walk to everybody. And your... Sorry, something just popped up. And your M2, true, it's a ranged attack and can hit through walls. But Huntress's ranged attack can literally across the map, motherfuckers. Sorry, it's just not the same level as A. Really good Pyramid Head killers, Pyramid Head players. 4K's easy. But at the same time, mediocre and or bad Pyramid Heads going to get 4 out of it. It is what it is. Especially when your own mechanic sometimes fucks you over. Both perk-wise and the fact that you lack information on where somebody is. It's really good to know where everybody is. But if by your own being you don't know where the fuck you sent somebody that's on hook, please. True, they can't try to take a chance in deliverance out of it. But at the same time, now the survivors have information you don't. So the survivors get to go to the spot to get the unhook, and you don't even know where to defend. You just have the idea that you should start making your way directly across from you. Okay. What's up, Bubby? Look, I really wanted to love Clown, bro. I really do. But when I thought about it, Clown is just really bad. So yeah, that's Pyramid Head. Blight. I'll settle for Blight at high A. A plus, S minus. And the reason I say that, so like with Wraith, with Wraith, sorry. Your counterplay is something that you usually have no control over with Blight as well. It's the fucking map. And yes, some people have mastered Blight to the point where it doesn't really make the biggest difference. But some maps, you just do not get to use your power. Like, a map can completely shut you down. On Leary's, right? On Leary's. That little box that survivors hop back and forth over. What do? You're not rushing back and forth all the way around that. Or the middle part, where like the gens and the hooks are, like the sparky sparks and the TV. What are you doing? You're an M1 killer. So I think the demotion from S for me on A is the fact that sometimes your power is just nothing for you. But the reason it's still A is because the amount of pressure you get and the effectiveness at which you can end chases is astronomical. And I say above Hag and above Freddy because on the other side, you're not limited with distance. Well, yes, you get 5 charges, and you also have to bounce off of something to keep them going. But at the end of the day, somebody's out of range of your trap, you're not getting to it. All their gens you pop, you're not getting to it. Why is he better than Wraith? Flashlights. That's why. Why is he better than Demo? It's a good question. I have no good reason as to why I have him above Demo. I think it's just because I've seen just way too many nutty blights. I've just seen way too many nutty blights that have completely turned this killer into such an unstoppable force. And I'm not gonna lie. Playing a survivor and then seeing a blight running at you is fucking terrifying. True, unstealthing Wraith behind you is kind of spooky, but a blight charging the fuck at you is fucking terrifying. I think it's just spirit that you just see all the time. Honestly, and the ability to break pallets faster. Yeah. The twins. Whole gimmick. You know where that puts them. B. Yeah. Above Plague. Twins. Yeah. It's a gimmick. It's a fucking gimmick. But at the same time with twins, hey. Shit. If you don't slug, that's on you. But if you do slug, you win. And if you aim Victor right, you win. Dowsey is a great twins player. You can use Charlotte to block a fucking pathway while Victor does the work. Or you set up Victor somewhere to camp something. And then he comes back in like 6 seconds. If somebody finds him, destroys him, whatever. All the works. Twins are great. Do they have mobility? Victor does. He's fast as fuck. He's fast as fuck, boy. Charlotte doesn't, and she's the one that has to pick up people. So I think that drops for A for me. Map pressure is still there, but if you go too far, you're kind of dumb. That's on you. But it's a gimmick at the end of the day. So going into the information, right? Mobility, Map pressure, yeah. Now what's the counterplay to twins? Let's think about that for a second though. Twins. What counterplay do you have against twins? Does spread out do gen still work against twins? Kind of. But I think instead of spread out one by themselves, I think you double up. If you travel in pairs versus twins, Doing better, because if Victor chases you, right? Even if Victor gets the hit on your friend and you're well timed and kick it, it doesn't even have to be a swift. Just somebody paying attention. Kick Victor. Right. Right. Just kick Victor if you're paying attention. And then even if your friend got down, pick him up. By the time Charlotte gets over, because people do it way too far away, it's whatever. So yeah. Good twins is good. Bad twins is eh. Which is B. Trickster. Now y'all know I love Trickster, but nah, I can't. C tier killer. You just fucking lose sometimes, and there's just nothing you can do. I know the add-ons I run. It's different than some because I don't really run the soda can for increased initial throw rate. I run the bouncing knives. That way, my 60 knives have a higher chance of hitting. It's just like, Tommy, hit your shots. Okay, true. But sometimes shit just doesn't work. I don't know if it's the latest patch or whatever, but I was watching some streamer today, right? The person had given up, and they literally just stood in front of him, so all the blades hit. Without the add-ons, it takes 8 knives, right? It takes 8 knives to get a health state. The person did not move, and you start with 60. Okay? Keep that in mind. Why did the person end with 32 knives? Sometimes your knives just don't register for some odd reason lately. Like, there's this one game that I have, Big C, yeah, Big C energy. There's this one game that I have that, for some odd reason, they just did not connect with a Jake that was running. Now, mind you, they could have been a better looper, but it was close quarters and bouncing knives off of shit, and I'm just watching it slide past his foot, off his shoulder, other shit. It's just weird. Sometimes the knives just don't hit. I've seen my knives, again, the same bouncing knives, I've seen it bounce off of somebody's shoulder and not register as a hit. Instead, it went off into the environment. It's just too many inconsistencies. And then the add-ons in their current state. Again, we're not talking about PTB Trickster at this moment. Fuck it. I might... Only reason I'm doing this is to talk about PTB Trickster. PTB Trickster does move up a tier. So, if you're looking at this video and you're just like, Tommy, there's no way in hell Trickster is a C in its current state. You're right. PTB Trickster is at least a B. So I want to do that because we don't know if PTB Trickster is confirmed all the changes going to go to live. They might make changes. Backtrack. Keep them at C because we don't know exactly what changes will pass from the PTB to live servers. Going to keep them at C. That way, when this video is outdated in 5 days, as far as Trickster goes, because we don't know. They could completely scrap some of the ideas they had for it, could completely change it. We don't know. It's PTB. But Trickster, current state, C. Rogue bring some time. I was going to say PTB. Yeah, he was like, true. Facts. But current Trickster, you need your add-ons, the USB stick, and the pop can to not completely fucking suffer. And instead of the pop can, bouncing blades. I don't like the one that does shatter against like the environment because true you could hit them, but since it only does 50%, you could have the full red circle. And I'm just like, any hit should put them over. No, you need to get a direct hit after that. So I prefer bouncing knives over that. So yeah, without the USB stick that makes it so that you need literally one less knife, it's fucking painful. You're not winning games like that, bro. You're just not. And then you take so long reloading, people get away. True. Basement Trickster, I've learned, Basement Trickster is almost as bad as Basement Bubba. Especially because then you get main event and just laser people. But certain loops, you can't use your power, you're turned into an M1 killer. Shit's too high. Oh well. He does not feel as nice. Does not. Turn into an N1 killer. And you're a slow M1 killer because you have the same walking speed situation as Gunslinger. Killer Shack? If you don't have Bamboozle, cry. Just fucking cry. Yeah, every time they make it to the window, sure, you could hit 2-3 knives. 4 on a good alignment, and you're great at the chase. It's not enough. And if you don't have and if the trickster gets tired of trying to chase you around the situation, and they're like, okay, fuck this, I'm going to just try to line up the shot. If they are not using the bouncing blades or the one that shatters, you can literally just tuck yourself in one of the corners and waste their time. Trickster has too much counterplay. And then again with maps. If you're not using, a lot of this is going to be if you're not using the bouncing blades add-on. Leary's. No. Asylum. Midwich. Okay. But there's just some maps that is just not going to help you. And then again, you're just banking on shots hitting, right? Huntress, she has, I believe, 6 or 7 hatchets at base. And one of those hits is a health stake. Just there. Fucking cold wind with the corn, right? Okay. Tommy, you have 60 blades. You can hit 8 of those to get a health state, even though if you just throw them wildly into the corn, that is true. But the percentage at which you hit those will drastically change your outcome, especially because it's not enough that you're a 110 killer. You also slow down throwing knives as a professional K-pop idol, somebody that has movement and can sing and shit, right? Dancing, singing, all that jazz. And also recoil and fucking throwing knives? Wait, what do you have? Gunpowder in your wrist? The hell? You're slowed down to, like, I believe, it's 92% or 96? 92 or 96, one of them. 90-something percent. So you go slower than a survivor while they're making speed because they can see that they are running away from a red stain and knives coming from a direction. So they'll get to another loop. And then by the time you've done 8, you've wasted so many fucking knives that there's just no way in hell that you can use your knives for the loop again. You have to reload. So just some maps are just auto lose for Trickster. Without, yeah, no, I would say without meta perks, but even some of the meta perks, Ruin and Die, if those are gone in the first second because somebody's running with fucking Geo/Claire's perk, what do you do? Okay, Pop. You're already slow because you have to fucking go into lockers to refill knives. So then you also have to hit up gens to do regression. Devour. You're not an M1 killer. You shouldn't be focusing on getting M1s. True, it slows the game down once you actually do get to that point. But if you're M1ing, you've already lost. That's another fucking... See? That's exactly what I was talking about. Huntress, sorry to go back from fucking Trickster, but going back to Huntress, yeah. Like I said, a really good, skilled person, you're going to slug them. And I've seen too many Huntresses 5-gen teams. And then, again, so then people are talking about the difference of why Huntress is more acceptable than PTB Trickster. You get to hear her, so there's some counterplay. Okay, but hear me out. You're going to take health states faster as Huntress than you are as Trickster. It's going to happen. But 6 knives is a health state. Okay, have you seen the recoil? Why is there, again, recoil on throwing knives? I would think there'd be more recoil throwing a fucking hatchet. But no, you get recoil on throwing knives. I guess that's to compensate game mechanics on the fact that, oh, you're throwing 60 of them. But again, I mean, I just gotta pull it down. But at the same time, it's fucking throwing knives. Why is that there in the beginning? And again, the laceration gets to wear off. So that's another thing. Laceration on Trickster, right? So you're just like, yeah, you have to hit 8 knives. But that doesn't stay forever. Or, let alone the longest of times. There's add-ons that, you know, when you're out of knives, the decay is much slower. Why? You want to never be out of knives. What the fuck is that about? Okay, whatever. But then, just over time, you lose all progress that you had on a person. And then with the PTB, again, assuming it goes through, that's 10 seconds. If you lose somebody for 10 seconds, you gotta start all over with those 60 knives. True, and then probably by then you don't have 60 knives. And again, if it takes 6 knives to get a health state and you have 60, optimally, in the most optimal situation, that's 10 health states. But the reality of it is, you're going to miss some. You're going to get fucking behaviored with latency or servers or just the game being broken. And some of those knives just won't hit. And then you have to start all over again the next time you see that person if they got away from you. Please. So yeah, laceration, puts him at C. Is he better than Myers? Yes. Better than Myers for the sheer fact that, again, basement control is pretty nasty. You just line them up and knock down a lot of them. But Tom, you said if you get to tier 3 Myers, you get to just doop doop doop. That is true. And that's still true. But a lot of people run borrowed time. Trickster, with main event, burns through borrowed time. True, that's a total of 16 knives at the moment. But you, on main event, you get knives for the duration of it. You don't have to worry about your own ammo economy. And hopefully by the time that somebody's getting somebody out of the basement, you've landed enough knives to get main event. If you haven't, that's something on your end. You just burn through borrowed time. It's really good. Not as good as Basement Bubba, for the fact that you also need knives instead of just the fucking chainsaw. But hey, that's Trickster in a nutshell. Y'all know I love Trickster, so I'm gonna stop talking about him before I waste another 30 fucking minutes. And all of that is exactly what I mean. Like, there's no reason for recoil on somebody using their arm as a weapon, essentially. I would say he is, I do agree, best C-tier killer, as much as I also love Pig with the, like, nutty shit I've done, but best C-tier killer. Best C-tier killer. Nemesis. Da 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 da. He has a gimmick, and that gimmick goes here. Where here is the question, though. There. There, yeah. Nemesis, B tier. Anybody saying A tier is just upsetty spaghetti at new killer being new and still trying to learn how to use character. I think people are catching on to the fact that the best tactic in Dead by Daylight isn't to loop for Sentry, it's to just hold W. Just leave the fucking loop. Nemesis Tentacle is ass. It's a pain in the ass to hit. You can't use it for elevation up and down like you can a Hunter's Hatchet, Gunslinger Aim, or Trickster Knives. You are on a linear form and it goes out. The tip can hit sometimes, and there's sometimes a lingering hitbox. Emphasis on sometimes on both. The tentacle is too inconsistent. The range is pathetic. It's 5 meters on tier 1 and 2. Tier 3, it goes up to 6 meters, which is then quality of life. Where some things that you're just like, I could have sworn that hit. No, it didn't. 6 meters should be base. That's what I don't like about Nemesis. I love Nemesis. He's one of my main killers. Next, zombies. Some people are like, but zombies are OP. Are they? Are they really? Because I have a lot of footage a lot of footage of them just getting stuck randomly for the entire match, because if you don't manage your fucking zombies while also trying to find survivors, you're not going to have that additional power. You're going to have two jank ass powers. Red Forest, zombies get stuck on every fucking tree and bush possible. Dead Dog Saloon, they get stuck on every fucking thing possible. Crotus Pen, get stuck on some things, still a fair amount of things. I do no aim hentai. No aim hentai. His tentacle being linear as a ranged attack is also another thing. Oh, and there's also, I have way too much footage of me hitting a pallet or a door when it should be breakable as tier 2 nemesis, and it just not doing it because I got behaviored. There's just, the nemesis is too wonky in his current state for me to put him in A. Anybody that says A is out there damn mine. Anybody that says that lower is out there damn mine. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules, I just make the rules. Nemesis, good with the right utility. Great killer. Ends chases, and I know that some people's argument is like, man, these new killers are just ending chases fast. What the fuck is this? I'm sorry, did y'all forget that y'all have Hillbilly? And Leatherface is one of the first fucking killers y'all got? Did y'all forget? Did y'all forget that they just burned through pallets? And one hit down? Like, did we forget that? I think we forgot that. I think we forgot what killers we got in the beginning. You guys are saying this shit like you don't have this shit in the game already. But then the zombies and contamination. You mean you got greedy? Because there's a lot of the time that I see that people still work on the shit, seeing the slow ass zombie moving at them and not doing anything because they're like, oh, I could take the hit, I need to finish this. No, you got greedy and didn't move from the zombie that's going 5 feet per second. Sorry, per minute. You didn't move. Why didn't you move? Because you didn't feel you needed to. Because, oh, the zombie's just annoying. But then you got hit and now it's OP? No. On top of that, it takes a lot to get hit by those zombies. The Chad Leatherface. I've had zombies that have been at the loop with me and just don't hit the person. They aimed it, but the slightest wiggle away from the zombie, you're not going to get hit. You got hit by a zombie, you either weren't paying enough fucking attention because they make sounds coming at you, or you got greedy. I've been at loops where, again, just leave the fucking loop as nemesis. My zombie's coming in, and somebody's too focused on me. I'm focused on the zombie creeping up behind them, and if I hit them, sure. But I already know my plan. So again, this is also a tip for nemesis players. Stop using the entire fucking loop if your zombie is next to you. You're just fucking yourself over. You're chasing around the loop round and round when you could do the Freddy approach and just tilt back and forth while the zombie creeps up from behind and then you cut off a path. But no, you want to waste your time on the entire loop. I digress. Nemesis power is too inconsistent in its current state. The tentacle hitbox is abysmal. True, when it works, but also, when it hits, if the person isn't already infected, it only infects them, it only contaminates them, because it doesn't spread to one person to another. It only contaminates them, instead of doing damage, and they still get a speed boost in its current form. Make it make sense. Yes, cut off, dip from the loop. Just leave. The zombies come back. That's not fair. There's 2 of them. 2 AI pets and the killer. Yes, once in a blue moon, they're effective, just like Pig's fucking reverse bear traps, where they actually get a hit. They don't get a kill like Pig's bear traps. They get a hit, which can lead to you going down and possibly dying, but they don't automatically give you a kill. I've seen people, smart survivors against me, use the speed boost from the zombie to completely avoid my M1 to just leave. That's some smart shit. Just think. Just look at your surroundings before you handle Nemesis. This A-tier bullshit for Nemesis is He has map pressure. Does he really? Yeah, the zombies. I'm sorry, the same zombie I said gets stuck on a tree? Yeah, but they're annoying. Just leave that gen you're working on. There's no time limit on the game. True, you want to get it over as fast as possible before the killer kills you. But at the same time, again, group up. 2 people, 1 person leads the zombie away, gets it stuck on something, and the other person works on it. You get a penalty for 2 people working on a gen anyway. It goes slower than 1 person working on it at a time anyway. It's the same thing with the twins. With less information, with less consistent information on top of that. Some people are still trying to figure out that the zombies, thank you, adapt based on the killer. If you're doing the same shit for every killer and wondering why it doesn't work for each new killer, that's on you. That's on fucking you. The zombies raise their arm, right? Then the Nemesis is like, oh damn, he's chasing somebody. Zombies are also slow. I have looked like Bobu the fucking fool way too many fucking times, finally getting up to the zombie, chasing somebody, and there's not even red scratches or blood or anything to show me where they went. I'm looking, the zombie, what are you chasing at that point? And when I get over to the zombie, then it's like, oh yeah, my bad, I just heard a sound. And then they just drop their arms, and then I'm just sitting there, I've wasted time trying to come over there. Use the zombies to your advantage. Just leave. Just leave. Work on something else. Do something else. Save somebody. Heal somebody. Find a vaccine. Find the fucking hatch. Do anything. But if you're going to sit there and try to challenge the zombie, you can't call the zombie OP. I'm sorry. They get stuck on something too often. And if Nemesis doesn't babysit his zombies too and unhook, there's so many times that I've been like, why isn't my zombie moving? And it doesn't look like it's stuck. It's been stuck on literally nothing. I'm like, is his patrol not started yet? No, just the zombie isn't moving because it's stuck on the corner of something. I'm like, there's no way he's stuck right now. What the fuck? Then you're already down to 1 zombie, as well as a power that only breaks pallets but can also hit you, but only does damage also after already you being hit by something else, either the tentacle itself or a zombie. It's not that bad. Grow up. Sorry. When I look at everything else that these killers have to offer, his infection doesn't even contaminate, or his contamination doesn't even travel between people. If the contamination got buffed to the point that if contact with another survivor at Gen as a contaminated person spread the infection like some Resident Evil zombie type shit, then you'd be fucked. Then I can hear the argument. Yes, please stop enabling whiny survivors. Like, it's not that hard to just not be greedy. It's not that hard. Information. Worse information than Victor, who literally gives you killer instinct. Or you can switch to and see what's going on. Pyramid Head. Sure, same amount of map pressure. His M2 goes through the fucking wall. True, it hits in a wave, and it's the same degree of skill shot, but it hits through the fucking wall. I'm all ears, and it's somebody thinking too far or focused too much on your red stain gets hit. As well as also Torment and other things in base kit. Oni, information, hit somebody, get a trail leader right to them, and an instant down that breaks. Also, again, a thing that there's characters in here that already disrupt you from playing at pallets in the same loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 other characters that I see right here that break pallets fast in another way, and you're acting like this damn tentacle is the end all be all to like why you can't fight against a damn pallet or a loop. I'm sorry, did you see Blight? Because then also after he breaks the pallet, he can do a speed boost after it to then catch up to the distance that you thought you made. Demogorgon, again, that's a lunge after that. Not a skill shot as much, but you get a lunge on top of that too. Fuck it, Victor can literally slide over the fucking pallet itself. He can jump over the pallet onto you. The fuck? You want to talk about things hitting over? A well-aimed Victor goes over the pallet, puts you down, or incapacitates you. Because now you got a fucking... and the information is given. Billy and Bubba just break it and have an instant down. Like when you want to talk about copium... if you want to talk about things that change the game with killers that you don't need to adhere to playing the loop, and that just pressing W is the way, no, it's been in the game this entire time. You just haven't been fucking using it. If you've been trying to loop a Bubba for forever, why? Hold W, leave. He has no mobility, just like Nemesis. No mobility, he just has a way to get rid of the pallet faster. And then an insta-down coming after you. So you're like, okay, Tommy, with all that being said, why is he still above Hillbilly, who has mobility on top of that? Well, Hillbilly also has to require on a turn. You have a little bit more control, as well as zombies, when they do work, helping when they do work. It's not just you. Why is he above Deathslinger? Yeah, he's just... again, there's pressure as well as the skill shot. And the skill shot, if you miss, has less of a cooldown. And yeah, that's the tier list. So recap: Nurse and Spirit S, Blight A, with Hag, Freddy, Huntress, Wraith, Demo. B is the Good Doctor, Oni, Pyramid Head, Twins, Plague, Nemesis, Deathslinger, Hillbilly, Leatherface. C, Trickster, Michael Myers, Pig, Ghostface Trapper, F, Legion, Clown. I think that's solid. I think that's all I got.